Filling out one of these color wheels is just a great practice and a great way to kind of learn how colors react when added, white, black, more water, less water. And it also gives you a reference to look back on and look and see what colors you have to work with.
Alright, I'm going to be showing you how to fill out a color wheel chart. This is just a basic color wheel chart. It has hues, tint, tone, and shades, and that's going from the outside in. This is just a straight hue, a true hue. It's just green, and I'm using just a watercolor paint set. And anyways, so you're going to start out with the true hue. You're going to add a little bit more water to that hue to get the tint, and that's just a lighter version of the hue. You can also add white to it, but with watercolor you're just going to add water. And then going down farther, it's going to be the tint. So you have the hue, the tint, and the tone. The tone is the middle part, and that's going to be added a little bit of black into the green. Start with the green again, and you're going to add a little bit of black and some water, and that'll give you a tone. Tone is just the hue mixed with white and black, in this case water and black. And then to get the last one, it's the shade. So the shade of green is going to be black and the color, and you're not going to add a lot of water because you want that to be a little bit darker than the tone. Okay, I'll fill one out and kind of show you as you go. Alright, so I'm just getting a little bit of water. I pulled a little blue out just to activate the pigment. You're just going to add water to it. You don't need a lot, especially with this small area, but you're just going to pull a little blue out. Do the same thing with green. We're making a blue-green, so I'm not going to worry too much about my brush getting still having a little blue on it. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to mix those two together. And that's going to give you a nice blue-green. That's going to be your true hue. Okay, so in between here, I don't have a label, but it's going to be green and blue, and in between there is going to be this greenish blue color. And by kind of making a border, you're just basically wetting the paper to the area that you want the pigment to gather. So I can make it a little bit more intense. It's pretty light. And that's going to be an in-between a blue and a green. It's a little bit more, a little bit closer to the green side, but that's okay. If I wanted to, I could add a little bit more blue to it. And when that dries, it'll be a nice bluish green color. Alright, so now that I want to add water to that, so I'm going to water it down, and I'm going to make a tint. Okay, add some water. And then be careful that this one's not going to bleed over to it. So you're just going to paint that square, and that's going to give you the tint of that blue-green. Okay. To get the next color, which is the tone, which is black and a little bit of water, you're going to add some more blue and some more green to your paint. And I always have a little scrap piece of paper just to make sure that it's the right color. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tiny bit of black, and black goes a long ways with watercolor, so you don't need to add a lot. And since I'm using watercolors, I'm going to go ahead and go straight down to the shade, because to get the tone I'm just going to add water to the shade. Okay, and then as it's kind of pooling up a little bit, this paper is real thin, but that's going to be the color that you're looking for. And then to get the tone of that color, you're just going to add more water. I just use my paintbrush to kind of pool it in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and start filling this in. And it's going to be just a little bit lighter than the shade and a little bit darker than the tone, or a little bit darker than the tint. This is the hue, tint, tone, and shade. Another thing that I should say, When cleaning these palettes out, you never want to run water over top of it. Just get some kind of material that absorbs. This is just a cotton ball, and what I do is just wipe down the mixing tray, and you get a nice clean mixing tray. This cotton ball is way overdue for a new one, but kind of get the idea. And there you go. You continue on, starting with the main colors, and then working on the in-between colors. Okay, my blue-green is drying, and now I'm continuing on. I got the green going from the hue, tint, tone, shade, yellow, tint, tone, shade. The yellow is going to kind of get kind of funky on you. When you mix black with the yellow, it never turns out a pretty color. It's kind of like a real dark, almost a greenish brown, kind of ochre color. And there you go, it's all filled out. Just remember, hue is color, tint is added white, tone is the gray with the color, and shade is the black with the color. Thanks for watching. If you would like a worksheet, you can go to my website that is listed below.